Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today is Tuesday, which means I'm going to give you an update on my two plants that I have right now. Hopefully, by next week I'll have a number 3 orchid. But right now, I just have my one orchid and my poinsettia on both, which I'm trying to save. So on my orchid, what I found out is that it's dying, which is not good. It's dying because you can tell this leaf is bent over. It's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be firm and straight up like this one. So what I did is I went to YouTube, of course, and I found a way to save her because look, that looks horrible, I know. So what I did is I went by the instruction of Miss Orchid Girl and cut off all the dead roots, put it in a regular pot like this, put my clear that has lots of holes in it for air. The only two stems I have left is this one, and you can see this one. So what I've been doing, I just put it, I tie it as tightly as possible against this. It's this actually, this little stick comes with the orchid, so that's all, no worry there. So I just have this stem and I have this stem. I just have been misting just the roots every morning, and I think, I don't know if you can tell, but this root is starting to come back. And what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to set it in your little pot here. All I have in here is just regular bark chips. That's the safest one for my orchid because I'm still kind of new at this, but I do know a few things. That's why I'm hoping to get another orchid tomorrow. But that's all I do. I just mist it in the morning. I do the front area where the two roots that are still okay are, and when I started doing that, that's like 5 days maybe. This root right here that's poking out right there, that's okay. They're supposed to do that. Was like a silvery gray kind of color, so it was like almost white, which is really bad. But I just been missing it every morning when I get up, my normal routine, and I've been seeing it. It went from silver and now it's gray. So I'm hoping if I keep doing this, it'll go from gray to green, then from green to bright green, which is a good sign. Okay, so now we're going to move over to my poinsettia that I just adopted. I adopted it because my mother bought it for Christmas and then she didn't take care of it, so I gotta try to save it. So what I just been doing something very simple. I repotted it because I think it was still in that potting store that you got from the grocery store, if you get yours from the grocery store like I do sometimes. So I repotted it, gave it Miracle Grow that is water concentrated. It only gives the plant water when it needs it, so you don't overwater it. That is like the best soil ever, in my opinion. So all I've been doing is I just look at the plant, see if there's any new growths on it. You can see I have a little hole right here. That's my little hole. I just put my finger in it. If it feels moist, I don't water it that day. If it does, if it's dry, I put more water in it. Today's thing, what I'm going to do for shopping is I'm going to find a little plate for this guy because I just been using plastic plates and I need like a clay plate or something. So any extra water that runs through it is not going to sit in the plant. Because I found out online that a poinsettia sitting in water is a bad thing. So I'm going to go to Ace. Because I'm going to go to Ace, I'm going to pick up some fertilizer for the poinsettia and for my orchid when it starts growing again. I have hopes for my orchid though. My orchid has very high hopes. I think it's starting to come out of limbo, which is a good thing. Poinsettia, I'm still iffy on that one. I don't know if it's growing or if it just doesn't have the energy to grow anymore. But I'll find out in the next few weeks, and you'll be in here with my journey as well. But like I said, today I'm hoping to get another orchid, and this time I'll know what to look for when I'm picking an orchid. I'm going to share with you a couple of steps that I learned from Miss Orchid Girl. You can go to her channel. I'll link her channel in the description below if you want to go check her out. If you have orchids, she is the best person, in my opinion, to go watch what she does. She doesn't just do one standard orchid. She does all kinds of orchids. So she is a person I would definitely check out if you wanted to get an orchid. Okay, so the steps, the things you want to look for in an orchid wherever you buy it. Mine is just mostly at the grocery store. The first thing you need to look for is the roots. The roots are a big indicator if the plant is alive and thriving or if it's dying. The best way with the roots is if they are a green or bright green, that means it is a healthy orchid and it's okay to buy. If the roots look okay to you, and if they're like a silvery white, grayish color, I wouldn't buy it because it's probably dying or very thirsty at that point. So after you look at the roots, if they are a green or a bright green, it's okay to buy. You need to look at the leaves. If the leaves are up like this and they're very firm, it means the orchid is alive and thriving. If the leaves are like my poor one right here, they limp over and they're leathery, it's a very sick orchid. What I found, most people buy the orchid based on the flowers. The flowers are not a good indicator, as I have found out the past bloom season. The flowers are not a good indicator of how healthy the orchid is. The best indicators are the leaves and the roots. So you check the roots. If the roots are okay, you check the leaves. If the leaves are okay, then it's okay to buy. So that's what I'm going to do today when I go shopping. Go shopping every Tuesday, and I'm going to see if they have some on sale. I usually want to buy plants when I don't have a bill that's so high. This week we have a very low bill to pay, so I'm hoping to get an orchid today. So after we go to the grocery store, we do our grocery store shopping. Hopefully you get another orchid, because I'm I would say I'm kind of expert at this point because I've been learning so much about orchids ever since I got this one. So after I'm going to go to Ace, like I said, I'm going to get a little tray, a little thing for this so the water drains out and doesn't spill over the plastic plates, what I've been basically using the past few days. So I'm going to get a plate for that. I'm also going to get some fertilizer for the poinsettia and for the orchid, because if your orchid is healthy, like mine is not like now, you're supposed to fertilize the orchid twice a month. And you're supposed to do the same thing with the poinsettia. But what I found out with the poinsettia is that if you see new growth on it, that is the best time to start fertilizing. Like I said, I don't know if it's growing or if it just gave up. Maybe I was too late on this one. But we'll find out in the next few weeks. So yeah, that's my plan today. I told you how you can pick up a perfect, healthy orchid at the grocery store or at the nursery or wherever you shop to buy your plants. It's totally up to you where you buy them. But I told you the steps that you need to follow if you're going to pick up an orchid from wherever you're buying your plants from. Other plants, I'm not so sure. If you're going to pick up poinsettias or something like that, it would be best if you do some online research before you go and just buy it, like I did. That's why I just bought it because I saw the flowers and I thought the flowers were a good indicator. As it turned out, I was wrong, obviously. So next week I'll show you what they both look like. Hopefully my orchid is better than it is right now. And I also want to talk about the sunlight with orchids. Poinsettias, they can take direct sunlight, no problem. Orchids, especially my kind of orchid, it's a phalaenopsis, I can't say the name, but it's the easiest orchid to take care of in the orchid family, but it cannot have direct sunlight. It has to have shaded sunlight. So what I did is, in the dining room, I have like a little desk in the dining room. Yes, I do, because we don't eat in the dining room anyhow. So I have a dining room, I have my little desk, and it has a little shelf right beside the windows, and I just drop down the curtain a little bit so it's a little bit shaded so that my orchid doesn't get sunburned. Yes, orchids can get sunburned. The way you tell if an orchid is sunburned is if you see brown spots on the leaves. That is the best indicator to tell you it has too much sun. So I know with my species of orchid that it needs shaded sunlight. So if you have an orchid, please do your research on that specific orchid to tell how much sunlight it needs, how much water it needs, how much, even the fertilizer. You got to know this stuff if you're going to take care of any kind of plant year round. So that's it for today's video. I hope you liked this video. Give me a like if you did. That really helps me out a lot. My social media and email list will be in the description below. Thank you. Hey, I just wanted to tell you one more thing. I have my little list here of fertilizers that I will buy at Ace today. For the orchid, I have nitrogen, NPK. These are ingredients you need for orchid, and I found out the best for orchids is a 10-10-10, which I don't know if you can tell, but I have it right there. That's information for my orchid. And the other side, I have the fertilizing type for the poinsettia. What I found out is the poinsettia needs houseplant mix at half strength. So my plan is just to go in there and find any houseplant mix fertilizer that is at half strength. As you see, I wrote it down there as well. So that is my plan. I'm going to take this list with me, and when we go to Ace, I'm going to try to find both of these. Hopefully not so expensive, but we'll see. We have an Ace card, so it shouldn't be that expensive. But this is the fertilizers that I'm going to use, and hopefully I'll be able to use it next week, and I might be able to show you next week. It just depends on my orchid and poinsettia. So that's it for today's video. If you like this video,